Hi everybody, I'm back today with another layout for you featuring the gorgeous Sunkissed collection from Tracy Reed. This cute little photo from an event that my family went to recently, and at an event where I took way too many pictures that I needed to scrapbook. And so we're going to get started with this one, and you will see loads more of these like Hawaiian themed gorgeous layouts. So I have my photo. I have one of the gorgeous tie-dye papers. Again, these tie-dye papers are like amazing. I have some of the sticker elements, and then I have a little pocket card there I'm going to use, and I'm going to use some of the Traveler's Notebook papers. So I'm just going to map the Traveler's Notebook papers, map my photo with the Traveler's Notebook papers. And you're going to see as I go through this layout that I am going to kind of make use of some Vintage Photo Distress Oxide ink, but I'm not going to ink everything. So this collection, it is very muted. It's gorgeous, but it is a bit muted. So some of the layers, as I go ahead and kind of put things together, some of my layers are going to need a bit more dimension off of the background. And so to get that dimension off the background, I'm going to do some inking, but I'm not going to do inking on everything. Mostly because I really don't like any kind of ink on things like flowers and leaves. I just think it looks weird. So my layout design is going to be pretty simple. I'm going to put my photo and that cute little journal card beside each other, and then I'm going to just add lots of fun embellishments and layers. There are these adorable drinks in this Sunkissed collection, and there's a little embellishment or ephemera piece that says summertime summer sippin', and then there's like lemons, and perfect for my photo, which is of me and my drink and my little doxy wearing a lei. And the little 3x4 card that I'm using says living our best summer life, and we really were this day. Some of the little ephemera pieces I'm using are some sliced oranges, some flowers, some hearts. There's some cocktails, drink cocktails, a couple of the little phrase stickers. I have a tag or a label that I'm going to use to put the date on. Once I knew where I wanted my embellishment clusters to be and about where I wanted them to be, I decided that I wanted to add something behind my embellishment clusters. So I'm going to go with just a shape. I'm going to punch some shapes from this floral Traveler's Notebook paper, and I'm also going to punch some shapes from the solid colors that I used to map my photo and to map my 3x4 journaling card. And what I'm going to do is I am going to ink the edges of these kind of scalloped circle shapes. And then I'm going to place them behind my embellishment clusters. And what this does is it's going to give a little bit of separation and a little bit of warmth to my clusters. It's going to separate the clusters from the background paper, and I really love how this turned out. It turned out exactly the way I kind of hoped it would. Because at this point, I love everything, but I wanted a little more separation, a little more contrast. I wanted to kind of elevate the embellishment clusters and kind of bring them so that something is in the forefront and the background paper is in the background. So by having a shape like this and then having them underneath and layering my embellishments on top of them, I get that kind of warmth and separation from the inking that we did on the edges, but I don't get the weird like brown flowers, which I'm just not a fan of. There is the cute little summertime sippin' element that I'm going to use as my title, and I'm just playing with the idea of maybe popping it up on some foam tape, which I actually am going to do. So I'm going to put the little rainbow there. I wanted to add at least one more rainbow because there are rainbows on that 3x4 card. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add these little drinks beside my rainbow. And once I kind of have those in place, I can keep going on. Now I am going to add a little bit more detail to the drinks, but not quite yet. I'm going to save that for last, and you'll see why when I do it. So I'm just going to continue on here, adding some ink to the phrase stickers and those little circles, and kind of placing those lovely scallop circles up underneath the embellishment clusters, or underneath the ephemera pieces. And you can even see now how much adding that little bit of pop and dimension behind is kind of separating those embellishment clusters up and away from the pattern paper, allowing them to stand out and not to blend in. Next up, I want to make sure I have a date stamp or a date on this photo and on this page. So I'm just going to grab the Vintage Photo Distress Oxide that I used for the inking, and I'm going to stamp my date right on that little label. Once I have this last cluster all together and on my page, the next step is going to be to add some magic glossy accents. They are like my secret weapon. I love them. I use them on so many layouts. But what I'm going to do with them here is nothing, because first I'm going to add sequins. I forgot about the sequins. So these are just hummingbird sequins from the Spiegel Mom Scraps. I've been using a lot of these sequins this summer. They seem to be a really great mix that is kind of going with a lot of the summer collections. So I'm going to first go ahead and sprinkle little clusters of sequins all over my page. And then I'm going to come in with my glossy accents. And I am going to fill out the drinks and make them glossy, so it looks like there's actual liquid in the cocktails. And I'm going to fill in all of the centers of the flowers that aren't covered with glossy accents. Let them dry completely, which takes 24 hours or so. Probably not, but I tend to do mine 20. I let mine sit overnight. And that is where we're going to call this layout all done. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your week. Check out the glossiness. I love it. And I will talk to you all again very soon. You can find a link in the comments below to Tracy's newest hybrid collection, Sunkissed. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.